Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And today we're going to look at a possible trade involving arbitrage, which we'll go through, and maybe following through Big Daddy Buffett's footsteps. It's going to be sexy.
All right. If you guys enjoy this kind of entertaining stock market content of Two Stupid Guys Trading Stocks, by all means, give it a like and subscribe below. We'd love to have you along in this little venture of ours. With that, we'll get to it.
20%! Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. Boomsies.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze
20%.
at. Can you go over what an arbitrage trade is real quick?
So arbitrage just kind of comes down to a bet on convergence of two things coming together. There are different types of arbitrage. The one we're going to talk about today is actually a merger arbitrage. But there's like arbitrage when you're looking at, like, say, like Alibaba stock, Dylan and I both own and love. If you look and say for the price to converge between the Hong Kong shares and New York shares, you could do an arbitrage trade on that if they were some reason widely disparate in their pricing. But it's just a better convergence.
Yeah, gonna converge all over your face. All right, so arbitrage trade, free money. Basically, what we're talking about is Twitter and Activision. So Microsoft was to acquire Activision Blizzard. All these beautiful games are directly from, except Candy Crush. That's stupid that that's in there. Like, there's so much more putting together ones, and Candy Crush is stupid.
I see a lot of middle-aged people playing Candy Crush on their phones, sitting in waiting rooms.
I mean, it definitely makes money, but whatever. So Activision announced, as you can see, this big circle right here, that, hey, Microsoft going to buy us. We were chilling around $60, $64. The closeout price is $95. This whole giant thing up here. All right? But we're chilling between 80 and 78. Why? It's weird, right?
Weird, right? You can almost buy like a $95 bill for $80.
Exactly.
So
that is actually, if you could do that analogy again with cash, it's like you're buying a more expensive bill with a cheaper bill. That is a 22%-ish upside. All right? But why wouldn't it just jump to 95? Seems like it's common sense.
The things that kind of separate that, right, are the likelihood that maybe the deal doesn't go through. That's a possibility. I'm pretty sure Microsoft can afford this. We're okay. You maybe antitrust. There's actually just a lawsuit that was launched against us on Friday by the New York state pension fund. I don't know if you saw that, saying that they think that they did not do the shareholder due diligence by selling out for $95 a share, and that undersold the company because they wanted to get the hell out of it because of the whole kind of sexual harassment accusations and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, $95 for Activision is a great deal, so I don't know how that's going to work. But essentially, it was announced 128, expected to be completed June 30th, 2023. I'm going to look at an inflation graph at the end of this, but that is a year and a month from right now. Okay? And then this is, the sexy thing. Warren Buffett has been increasing his stake in Activision. Berkshire now owns 9.5%. That's gross.
Correct. Yeah, very much so. A lot of cash to put to work, and when you get an almost guaranteed 20% return in a year, that's pretty sexy.
It's not bad. Here's the funny part. It's kind of like stretched out, but it's only 0.028% of his portfolio is 9.5% of Activision.
I know, right? Well, I mean, remember, this guy owns like 5% of Apple.
Yeah. So let's get into why, this is still a bit of a problem. You know who this woman is?
No. Is she like the whistleblower that started this whole thing, Activision Blizzard, maybe?
No. She's actually, this is not a hit thing on her. She's actually pretty good at her job, which could be a bummer for people who go in on the trade. So she is Lena Khan. So the deal still has to face the Federal Trade Commission, and she is the one who stopped the NVIDIA acquisition of ARM. She blocked it. The Lockheed Martin deal of Zero Jet Rocketdyne, blocked it. And she opened up a probe about 3 months ago on Facebook, Meta, whatever, on their acquisition of Supernatural. She is Biden's first, line of stopping monopolies. Okay? She does not like acquisitions. This has to go through her, hence the incredibly long acquisition date. Very long acquisition date. Another thing that I was kind of looking at is Wall Street seems like they're betting against this, because if they were very confident, if everyone was like, this is definitely going to go through, this would not have a possible 20% arbitrage possibility upside. This would be chilling at $91, $92, not 90, 78. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I completely agree. Be a lot narrower, like that Twitter kind of spread. I don't know if that's in this presentation, but it might be.
Weird that you would even bring that up. Twitter acquisition.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, Vinny hasn't looked at this yet.
I have not.
The green arrow here is the price where the acquisition would go through, 54.20. The green circle is kind of where it's at. 49.80. Where it was announced at 49.80 is where we're chilling right now. 8.8% upside. Not near as sexy, but the timeline is much shorter. I just thought this was super funny. I'm gonna make your face a little bit smaller here.
Okay.
So the SEC filing Thursday revealed that Musk secured approximately $7 billion from his friends, dope friends, my man. Like Oracle guy, all this other stuff, and then I have some quotes that are hilarious. Binance chief Changpeng Zhao said it's going to be the crypto Twitter, gave him a bunch of money, called his $500 million investment a small contribution to the cause. He's got some Saudi princes. He's got his other homeboy at Mr. Ellison, who's with the Boring Company, all that fun stuff. So the reason why I'm putting this on here is Buffett. You can say Buffett believes in it, but he's only got 0.3% of his portfolio. So
true.
If he really thought this was an easy 20%, Buffett being Buffett would put in 20% of his entire portfolio. Because why wouldn't you? It's an easy 20% gain in 13 months.
Yeah.
One thing to consider.
Still might.
He still might. He could. One thing to consider is this graph. All right? You know what this is?
No, I don't know what that graph is.
Per month.
Oh, yeah.
So you're losing 8.5% of your money as of March. We don't have April, May numbers as of the filming of this, but putting your money into an Activision trade where you're guaranteed a 20%, not guaranteed, the upside is 20%-ish, rather than sitting in cash, especially as the market looks like it's going to go down. See our next video. It seems very appealing. And I don't think it's going to be taken down. I don't know how it's a monopoly, because they have a gaming segment buying another gaming segment, which is not doing well financially. They've had a lot of issues with their board. I wasn't going to go into it because that's kind of a much different video. That'd be like 30 minutes, but they're not doing awesome. So I don't understand why they would block it.
Interesting. I mean, from a monopoly standpoint, right? So revenue for gaming, I think is like 3% or 4% of Microsoft's total revenue. It's a small drop in the bucket compared to everything else Microsoft does. All right. So from a monopoly standpoint, I see that. The thing that's interesting for me from Activision, they're still trading at like a 24, 25 PE. They were getting to the point where they were getting undervalued just from a earnings perspective before this acquisition was announced. And even now, like, this is not an unreasonable multiple, I think, given the cash flow that Activision Blizzard generates.
Yeah,
they could continue to generate. That's a question, but
I think it was they were low because the future was they were really losing a lot of games. But well, not games, money from the games.
Talent.
We'll go talent.
Talent.
I'm blanking out on what it was, but Sony, PlayStation, also just bought. It was a big company right before Microsoft announced this. And, it just seems like the two big heads are trying to gobble up all the competition. Don't get me started on why PlayStation sucks and why Xbox been trying to be friends and let everyone play together. It's a whole different thing. But yeah, Benny has no idea. To me, it doesn't seem like a bad place to stash your money. All right, especially with inflation this high. Worst case scenario, it doesn't go through. You own Activision. Don't ever sell it.
Yeah. I mean, you bought a company that has some moats in terms of like the brand value, and then it's generating cash flow. Certainly was going through a rough period of time, which always gets me interested in stocks. I just hadn't had a chance to take a deeper dive into this before Microsoft announced acquisition.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let us know if you think that this is a good trade, if you think it's free money, if you think Poppy Buffett's about to make bank. All right?
Yeah. Catch you the next one.